In the heart of Tallinn, Estonia, a bronze soldier once stood, a symbol of Soviet-era memories, a trigger for a digital tempest. Estonia, a small Baltic nation, found itself on the precipice of a new age after gaining independence from the Soviet Union in 1991. In the years that followed, the country embarked on a rapid journey of technological advancement, transforming itself into one of the world's most digitally advanced nations by the mid-2000s. The once medieval city of Tallinn became a beacon of digital innovation, a testament to the resilience and forward-thinking spirit of the Estonian people. In this buzzing metropolis stood a silent sentinel, the Bronze Soldier of Tallinn. This Soviet-era war memorial was a stark reminder of the country's past, a symbol that ignited a firestorm of controversy. The decision to relocate this statue in 2007 was not just a matter of moving a piece of history from one spot to another. It was a move that stirred deep-seated sentiments, sparking protests and escalating tensions, particularly among the Russian-speaking minority. As the monument was being uprooted, so too were the foundations of what we understand about security in the digital age. The controversy surrounding the Bronze Soldier of Tallinn was about to serve as a backdrop for a conflict of a different kind, one that didn't involve physical weapons or traditional battlefields. It was a conflict that was to unfold in the shadows, in the invisible threads of the web that connected this tiny nation to the rest of the world. Just as the Bronze Soldier stood as a symbol of a bygone era, so too would it become a symbol of a new kind of warfare. A warfare not fought on land, sea, or air, but in the digital ether, where borders are fluid, where attacks are faceless, and where defenses are constantly tested. As the Bronze Soldier moved, a new kind of storm was brewing in the digital space, one that would test the strength of Estonia's technological prowess. A storm that would not only shake Estonia, but also send ripples across the globe, forever altering our understanding of national security, sovereignty, and warfare in the digital age. April 27, 2007, a day that would etch itself into the annals of Estonia's history, the day the invisible war began. As dawn broke, a digital storm was brewing, one that would soon engulf the tiny Baltic nation. Estonia's government, media outlets, banks, and critical infrastructure were targeted by a relentless wave of cyber assaults. The enemy had no face, but its weapon of choice was devastatingly effective: a distributed denial of service attack, or DDoS for short. To understand the magnitude of this assault, let's break down what a DDoS attack entails. Imagine you're a shopkeeper, and your shop is suddenly flooded with more customers than you can handle. These customers aren't really interested in buying anything. They're just there to create chaos. They clog the aisles, making it impossible for genuine customers to shop. This is essentially what a DDoS attack does to a computer network. It overwhelms the system with a flood of internet traffic, rendering it incapable of servicing legitimate requests. In the case of Estonia, the attackers exploited thousands of zombie computers scattered across the globe to launch their onslaught. These hijacked machines, unbeknownst to their owners, were part of a botnet, a network of compromised computers controlled remotely by the attackers. Like a digital tidal wave, these machines bombarded Estonian servers with a barrage of requests, effectively drowning out legitimate traffic. The impact was immediate and far-reaching. Government websites were paralyzed, unable to provide essential services. Banks, the lifeblood of the economy, were crippled, leaving citizens unable to access their accounts. Media outlets, the voices of the nation, were silenced, fueling fear and uncertainty. But this was no ordinary assault. This was a new kind of warfare, one fought not on battlefields, but in the digital realm. A war not of guns and tanks, but of bits and bytes. A conflict not bound by borders, but spanning the vast expanse of the internet. In this new warfare, There were no bombs, no bullets, only data, and it was enough to bring a nation to its knees. A silence fell over Estonia, not one of peace, but of paralysis. The digital lifeblood of the nation stood still. This was no ordinary conflict. It was a battle fought in the shadows of the digital realm. The cyber onslaught was relentless. It started out as a trickle of malicious traffic, then rapidly swelled into a torrent. Estonia's government, media outlets, banks, and critical infrastructure were inundated by a flood of distributed denial-of-service attacks. For the Estonians, the experience was surreal. One moment, they were living their lives in one of the world's most technologically advanced nations. Next, they found themselves in the eye of a cyberstorm. Their interconnected world, once a beacon of progress and connectivity, was now a battlefield. The impact was immediate and widespread. Government websites went offline, paralyzing administrative functions. Media outlets were silenced, leaving the population in the dark. As Estonia grappled with the onslaught, the world watched, listened, and responded. In the aftermath of this unprecedented digital assault, the international community rallied around the Baltic nation. With its infrastructure reeling under the cyber onslaught, Estonia sought assistance from its international partners. NATO and the European Union, two of the most prominent international bodies, stepped in to offer their support and expertise. But it wasn't as simple as lending a helping hand. The murky waters of cyber warfare presented a unique challenge: attribution. Who was behind these attacks? The finger of suspicion pointed towards Russia, a theory fueled by the recent tensions over the bronze soldier of Tallinn. But in the digital world, tracing an attack back to its source is not as straightforward as it is on a traditional battlefield. With no concrete proof, diplomatic tensions simmered, and the international stage was set for a complex dance of accusations and denials. This was a pivotal moment in the history of international relations. The nature of warfare had evolved, and so too had the rules of engagement. In the realm of cyber warfare, the enemy was faceless, the attacks borderless. It was a sobering reminder for nations worldwide of their own vulnerabilities in this new era of conflict. As the lines blurred between national security and international cooperation, the world was forced to reconsider its approach to cybersecurity. The response to the attacks on Estonia set a precedent for international cooperation in the face of cyber threats. NATO, for instance, bolstered its cooperative cyber defense policy, recognizing the need for collective resilience against such threats. The EU, too, took significant steps in enhancing its collective cyber defense strategy. It recognized the need for a comprehensive approach to cybersecurity, one that takes into account the interconnected nature of the digital world and the shared responsibility of safeguarding it. In this digital battlefield, allies were crucial, and the lines of international cooperation were being redrawn. From the ashes of disruption, Estonia rose, stronger, wiser, resilient. In the wake of the cyber onslaught, Estonia was quick to recognize the need to fortify its digital infrastructure. The country embarked on a mission to bolster its cybersecurity capabilities, implementing measures that would set a benchmark for nations worldwide. In a world increasingly reliant on digital technology, Estonia's approach was both proactive and visionary. Estonia established a dedicated Cyber Defense League, a volunteer-based organization of cybersecurity enthusiasts and professionals. This league, working in tandem with the government, set about creating an impenetrable digital fortress, reinforcing the nation's cyber defenses and ensuring that a similar assault would not find Estonia ill-prepared. The country also invested heavily in cyber education, acknowledging the role of informed citizens in preventing cyber threats. Schools and universities began offering programs focused on cybersecurity, grooming a new generation of cyber warriors equipped with the knowledge and skills to combat digital threats. But Estonia's response didn't stop at its borders. The nation's experience catalyzed a broader conversation on the global stage about the nature of warfare in the digital age. Estonia championed the need for international cooperation in cybersecurity, arguing that in an interconnected world, a threat to one is a threat to all. This call for unity led to the establishment of the NATO Cooperative Cyber Defense Center of Excellence in Tallinn, Estonia's capital. This institution serves as a hub for member nations to share knowledge and collaborate on cyber defense strategies, further highlighting Estonia's leadership in this domain. Estonia's response to the cyber attacks was not just about recovery, it was about transformation. It was about viewing a moment of crisis as an opportunity to learn, adapt, and evolve. The nation didn't just rebuild its digital infrastructure, it fortified it, setting a new standard for cybersecurity. Estonia had become a phoenix, a symbol of resilience in the face of digital adversity. The cyber attacks on Estonia marked a paradigm shift, a wake-up call to the world. Estonia, once a beacon of digital, was suddenly under siege by unseen assailants. The invisible attackers overwhelmed the nation's defenses with endless streams of ones and zeros. The fallout echoed beyond its borders, forcing the world to acknowledge a new reality: the fragility of digital infrastructure. Suddenly, we found our societies could be disrupted not by bombs, but by data. This was onset of a new kind of warfare, a war waged with bits and bytes. Cybersecurity, once a niche concern, became urgent. Governments and organizations worldwide had to confront the implications. The necessity to strengthen our cyber defenses became clear. In response, there's been a global push towards enhancing cybersecurity infrastructure and developing strategies against cyber threats. Countries have begun to understand the power of collaboration in combating this common enemy. The cyber attacks on Estonia have shown us that our fates are intertwined in this digital age. This realization offers a glimmer of hope. It highlights potential for collective action against shared challenges. In the wake of Estonia's ordeal, the world had come to recognize a new battlefield, one that resides in the ether of ones and zeros. A bronze soldier, a digital storm, a nation's resilience. These are not just fragments of Estonia's past, but harbingers of our global future. The cyber attack on Estonia in 2007 was not merely an event. It was a turning point, a wake-up call to the world about the fragility of our digital infrastructure and the evolving nature of conflict in the information age. A war fought not on battlegrounds, but in the invisible realms of cyberspace, where borders are blurred and the enemy is often faceless. The relentless DDoS attacks that paralyzed Estonia served as a stark reminder of our vulnerabilities in an increasingly interconnected world. Every keystroke, every byte of data, has the potential to become a weapon, capable of causing widespread disruption, fear, and uncertainty. Yet, from this digital storm emerged a beacon of resilience. Estonia, the small Baltic nation, rose like a phoenix from the ashes, transforming its trials into lessons for the world. The country bolstered its cybersecurity infrastructure, implementing measures that have since become a model for nations worldwide. But the echoes of the cyber attack extend beyond Estonia's borders. It underscored the importance of international cooperation in combating cyber threats. It prompted discussions and debates on cybersecurity policy, on attribution, and on accountability in the nebulous terrain of cyberspace. We are living in the digital age, an era marked by rapid technological advancements, but also fraught with new forms of conflict and challenges. As we traverse this digital landscape, we must remember that our strength lies in unity, in collaboration, in shared knowledge and shared defenses. The story of Estonia, the bronze soldier, and the storm in the digital ether is not just a chapter in history, it's a guidepost for the future, a reminder that in the face of adversity, resilience and cooperation can turn crisis into opportunity, fear into fortitude. As we navigate our interconnected world, let's remember Estonia, the bronze soldier, and the lessons learned from the storm in the digital ether.